When your cat scratches your furniture, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Most people assume it's simple. They're sharpening their claws. Or maybe they're being destructive. But behind that scratching, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's actually one of the most emotionally loaded signals your cat can send inside your home. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might accidentally create more stress for your cat, while also damaging the bond you share. Because in your cat's mind, that couch, that chair, that doorway they're scratching isn't random. It's communication. Let's start with what scratching furniture really means. Have you ever watched your cat walk straight past a scratching post and head directly for your couch? It feels personal. Most people think cats scratch furniture because they're stubborn or because they prefer soft materials. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat isn't targeting your furniture. They're targeting important locations in your home. Researchers who study feline behavior describe scratching as a visual communication signal. When cats stretch up and rake their claws down a surface, they're leaving marks that are meant to be seen, and the places they choose are not random. Doorways, living rooms, corners of sofas, hallways you walk through every day. Those are high-traffic social zones. In other words, your cat scratches where life happens, because scratching there allows them to send a message to everyone in their territory. Think about that for a second. Your couch isn't being destroyed. It's being used as a bulletin board. And by the way, if your cat ever scratches right after you come home or when guests arrive, don't brush it off. We'll come back to what that means later, and it's something most owners wish they understood sooner. Now, here's where the science gets interesting. A 2017 study on domestic cat behavior from the University of Lincoln observed that cats increase scratching activity during moments of emotional change, like when their owners return home, when visitors enter, or when new animals are introduced. In other words, scratching often happens when something emotionally important is happening. Here's what's actually happening. Scratching is a full-body release. When cats scratch, they stretch their spine, extend their toes, flex their shoulders, and engage muscles throughout their body. Behavioral scientists compare it to how humans stretch after sitting too long. But there's another layer. Animal cognition research shows that scratching also helps cats reset their emotional state. When something exciting, stressful, or stimulating happens, scratching helps them regulate that energy. Think about that for a second. Your cat might scratch the couch not because they're angry, but because they're processing emotion. That scratch might be your cat saying, "Something just changed in my world." And here's where it gets even more meaningful. Often, that change is you. Here's what most people don't realize. Scratching doesn't just leave marks you can see, it leaves scent. Cats have scent glands between the pads of their paws. When they scratch a surface, those glands release pheromones, chemical signals that other cats can detect. And those pheromones say something very specific. This space belongs to me. But it goes deeper than territory. Studies on domestic cats reveal that scent marking inside homes isn't just about ownership. It's about creating emotional safety. Cats build a map of smells that tells them their environment is stable. So, when your cat scratches your couch, they're doing two things at once. They're leaving visible claw marks, and they're leaving invisible scent markers. Think about that for a second. Your couch becomes part of your cat's comfort network. A place that smells like them, a place that smells like home. And since your scent is already on the furniture too, scratching there blends your smells together. In your cat's world, that means something very simple. You belong here with me. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your cat, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more cat owners who want to love their cats the right way. To really understand scratching, you have to go back thousands of years, long before couches existed. In the wild, cats scratched trees and wooden surfaces to maintain their claws and mark territory. Behavioral scientists studying wildcats in Europe and Asia have documented these scratching posts along forest paths and territorial borders. Here's what's fascinating. These marks are not random. They appear along routes cats frequently travel, places where other cats might pass. Why? Because scratching is a communication system. It says, "I was here. This is my space, and I am healthy and strong." Now think about how that instinct adapts inside your home. Your hallway